Hi, are we all here?
Hey.
Yes, you're only just appearing.
Oh, there we are. Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Jeff, meet Mpho and Father. Father and Mpho, meet Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
Thank you for your time. You're very kind to give me 10 minutes. You're fantastic.
Thank you. Where are you?
I'm in the greater Washington area, actually, Washington, D.C.
Beautiful. Well, Father and Mpho, Jeff read the Book of Forgiving, and he also did the Instagram challenge, and he was our winner for the Instagram contest. And so he has the distinct privilege of getting to speak with you today, and he has some questions that he gathered from his community that he wanted to ask you about forgiveness as well. And it sounds like Jeff had a very powerful transformation in his own relationship to forgiveness and in his family. So it's quite beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, both of you gave very powerful examples of forgiveness in your book. And obviously, Father with apartheid and Mpho and apartheid, you both went through some significant times. One of my, or several of my community members actually asked about the Gaza Strip situation and Israel and Palestine and Hamas, and that you have compared those two situations. What are your thoughts on what has to occur for that situation to heal?
Yeah, I'm thinking of God just now, and saying that God must be spending a lot of time weeping, because you can imagine what it. I mean, you and I know just how you feel when you have fallen out, especially with someone in the family. And I can just imagine God's brokenheartedness, looking and seeing how his children are treating other of his children. But to come to the precise question, one can very well understand concerns about self-preservation with people such as the Israelis, feeling that they are in a hostile environment. You have almost all of the Arab, Muslim countries not having positive attitudes towards them. And we are filled with the sense of self-preservation, to do anything to preserve us. What I have been feeling, especially in recent times, is an anguish at what the Israelis are doing to themselves. It's not. I mean, what they are doing in Gaza. Even if we were to say that there is in responding to the provocations by Hamas, the response, the reaction has been abominable. I mean, when you think of those 4 boys on the beach, you say, okay, I mean, you have very sophisticated armory, how is it that you were able not to miss? I mean, because they picked them one after the other. I mean, it was like target practice for them. I mean, one can speak of the fact that they have placed the Gaza people within the largest open prison. So almost all of them would want to do anything to get out of that.
So how do you move from that?
How do you move from that? No.
You're getting there.
No. Let me say, because I'm speaking from a very heavy heart. You know, I'm speaking as a father. I'm speaking as, I hope, someone who has been regarded as a religious leader, and one who comes out of this particular experience of South Africa. Through the TRC, we saw what dehumanizing laws did to the dehumanizer. I am deeply, deeply concerned for what the Israelis are doing to themselves when they can have their people sit in front of television sets watching what their army are doing to others and cheering them on. You realize that in dehumanizing others, you dehumanize yourself. And it's not a slogan, it just is real. And you just have to go and see what happens at checkpoints. I would hope that the Israelis could get a leader who said, we have been given a precious, precious treasure, our Torah, which has spoken about what we should be as the chosen people. And dear people of God, we are moving many, many miles away from what God would want us to be. And Israel that said that would be amazed at what the world would be wanting to do to preserve them, because they are a special people. There is no running away from that. But they may have forgotten what their own religious leaders have kept saying to them. You know, when you read Isaiah, Jeremiah, that they gave the word, and so us, an incredible gift, the knowledge of a God who has a bias. And one can say, as sure as anything, if they continue this way, down the line, they are going to come a cropper. Because the God they gave us is a God who has notoriously been a God who is biased in favor of the weak, of the downtrodden, of the despised. And I'm speaking now from the heart of a pastor, crying out to our people, because we are who we are because of all of those people who helped to form the nation that is Israel.
Very good.
Very good.
Yes, thank you, Father. I was wondering if we could come back to, I know Mpho was asking, given the realities of what Israel and Gaza are doing right now, if there's a role for forgiveness to play in that conflict.
Of course, I mean, yes, I think that the attitude that we adopt would be important. The point, of course, is that the wrong is continuing to happen, you know, and so I mean it's very difficult to say I forgive you for having hit me in the nose, and to do that as you are hitting me on the nose.
I think, you know, I mean, I do think that making peace requires incredible courage. And I don't see really courageous leaders on either side who have the courage to, even if they drag their communities kicking and screaming, but drag their communities to the peace table. And you know, of course, forgiveness has a role, but forgiveness in that kind of a context requires, or always requires, a respectful auditor, like a, you know, sort of a respectful person to hear the story. Somebody who's not going to say, well, you know, well, that's your story, but on my side, my story is, you know, and sort of compare hurts, but just to actually accept, here is the hurts that you have, here is the hurt that I have experienced. Okay, fine. Now I hear your hurt. Here is the hurt that you have experienced, and okay, fine. And not to say, okay, well, who's
bigger?
Yeah, whose hurt is bigger, because hurt is hurt.
Right. Makes a lot of sense. Do you have time for one more?
Are you ready?